through the power of everybody being able to, sorry, Mr. Jones was asking me a question we haven't seen, but through the power of the change. And so why did I bring up, that we're in an election year? Why did I bring up that there's a presidential election this year? Because at that point, we're going to have it's going to be a talking point. Let me just cut the chase. It's going to be a talking point. And look, I lose $100. What was it, last week or the week before, 2 weeks ago? It was the presidential debate between two candidates. And I had shared that week that more than likely they're going to have some sort of question around digital assets, cryptocurrency, fintech, something in that manner. And I lost $100 because they did not bring that up at all. I would have gained $100.
We lost $100.
No, I just saying out loud because I said I bet $100 tonight or tomorrow they'll be talking about this.
I was like, we lost $100. You
No,
tell me this shit.
No. We didn't bet nobody. I just said I said hypothetically I bet that $100. So at that point I would have had to pay up my bet.
I didn't hear that.
Well, boy, let me tell you, if I would have said they're going to be talking about their golf game, I would have won $100. So the rhyme and reason is chaotic. And there's a reason why it's chaos. There's a reason why our, MSM, which is mainstream media, is shoving so much geopolitical and all kinds of other stuff down our throats, but not what's actually happening. Because again, they do not want you guys to know about what is happening. They do not want you guys to know about the people on the back end that are, that are making these changes, the elitists that are going to reap the benefits, and the very, very small, it's less than 0.01% of the population. 0.01% of the population that really understands what cryptocurrency is, how it's going to play a part in our future, and where we're going. Let me just share this with you guys. We talk about cryptocurrency. We talk about these conversations, Web3 conversations, and we're talking about them to give you guys game so that way you can put yourself in a position to where you do not have to play by what the rest of the masses will have to play by. What do I mean by that? Because it was very cryptic, Tara. The people that are the top 1% that we know of today, power does not relinquish power. And so the fact that we're moving into a very digitalized age does not mean that we're going to get more freedoms back and have more power just given to us. That is not what's going to happen. It is very much in favor of those top 1% who are putting this system together and have created this system to continue to benefit them. Now, what happens and what is happening is that as there's a huge transition in the world of our financial system, what happens through that change and transition is there's room for people to gain great opportunity so they can break into the top 1%. And today's conversation, if you sit around the campfire with me and on these conversations, boy, howdy, I will tell you that this is the game you want. And what do I mean by that? This is the insider information that you want to know about. This is the connect the dot conversation that you want to hear, that you want to be a part of, because it allows you to kind of understand the further depths of what's going on behind the scenes. So that way we can make the transition to better position our businesses, and our personal lives, and those that are around us that we care about. So, our family and our friends and our community. And something that's going to be really cool about it is that because it is, I want to say new money, the new money that's coming in, because digital assets, AKA cryptocurrency, is known as new money. It is a new investment class. It is a new classification. It's not a standard stock. It's not a standard bond. It's not these standard things that you can do right now. It's not gold. It's not silver. It's something new. And the opportunity over the next 4 to 5 years is massive. But the sad thing is, and I'm just going to keep it real because that's what we do around here, is that the masses will get wrecked in this change. Why? Because they're not paying attention to what's going on. They're not paying attention to the transition that's happening. And they don't realize that their traditional 401ks, their traditional, investment portfolios that are heavy in bonds. Let me tell you, if you're heavy in bonds, this is not investment advice, but if I was heavy in bonds, I'd be getting the hell out of bonds as fast as I could, like as in today. Well, Tara, what would I do with that? Put it in gold. Put it in silver. Put it in something that you know where it's going, because at the end of the day, it is having it to where it's not going to get the rug pulled out underneath you. Now, again, that would be what I would do. That's my investment advice to myself. That's not me telling you guys what to do, but it's having your head on the swivel to say, okay, well, if Tara's bringing this up, again, who the hell is Tara? I'm just a, person over here that's done 6-7 years of, research about this information and listened to the conversation and saw the writing on the wall and see the writing on the wall. But because there is a community out here, I'm not the only one talking about this, but there is a small community out here talking about where we're going through cryptocurrency and the good, the bad, and the ugly to it. And it is not public. It is public information, but it is not publicly pressed forward into the media or mainstream media, because again, this would create opportunity for people to take advantage of getting, their getting in where they need to get in. So when the tides roll, you're on the upside of that instead of the drowning side of it. And I have this conversation with my mom all the time. She is a baby boomer. She's in her early 70s. She has a traditional investment portfolio. She has been smart all her life to put into that investment portfolio. She was drilling it into my brother and my head to invest. You need to get portfolio. You need to get your 401k up. You need to get these things in place so that way when you get to a certain age of retirement, you don't have to be working still. And I'm grateful for that, but I fear, and luckily she's got, a couple, her only 2 children who are extremely savvy within this digital asset side of things, and will make sure that our family is well taken care of. However, trying to convince her, of what she's known for 50 plus years of her life, 60 years of her life, is to invest, to get into 401k, to invest in stocks and bonds and do all of this and invest traditional investment portfolio. At the end of the day, she's going to get the rug pulled out from underneath her, as every other baby boomer will, because of the transition and the change that's going to happen. Right now, I don't know if you guys pay attention, but bonds are getting liquidated. I mean, they're just losing their asses like nothing. That's why back in 2023, we had a couple of banks that, did go under, because of they reinvested the investments that, the banking investments that they had into bonds. And when these quote unquote these people that held their money with the bank said, hey, I want my money back and all of it, and it was millions, they had to go liquidate their bonds, liquidate, same thing, their bonds, and they had to take a loss, and then we're insolvable. I mean, I don't know how many of you guys pay attention to geopolitical financial things around the world. Guys, guess what? I'm going to tell you something. I hated financial investment advice, if it was traditional stocks and bonds when I was younger. I thought it was so boring. I didn't understand it. I was clueless. And something clicked about 7 years ago when the digital asset side came in. But the reason why I'm, savvy on the stocks and bond side now is because they all tie in, and there will be, a transition. I don't know if many of you know who BlackRock is, and most of you, I hope, know who BlackRock is. They were very private. They were very private for a long time in society, meaning they only became kind of known since 2021, 2020. I mean, people who were investment, advisors and all that, they knew who the big dogs, Vanguard and BlackRock were, and some of the other ones, Grayscale, Fidelity, these guys. But BlackRock was they purposely were very out of the media. They were not known. And then when 2008 came around, BlackRock actually, was the U.S. government went to BlackRock to save us out of the housing crisis, the big 2008 housing crisis that we had going on. And, because they had invented, and they still use to this day, an AI, a very smart AI model that they've created that does the investment strategy. BlackRock is the largest investment firm in the world. They also have a GDP that it would rank them the third or fourth largest GDP in the entire world. They manage and own over 3.7, I think it is, trillion assets. So it's +3 trillion assets that they, manage and take care of in portfolios. And so they are a massive player in this game. Why am I talking about BlackRock? Well, because 2 or 3 weeks ago, the CEO of BlackRock was on a major multimedia channel. I believe it was CNN. And he was quoted on air saying that the entire stocks and bonds, the entire stock market will be 100% tokenized. Well, what does tokenized mean? Tokenized simply means that we're moving a physical asset into a digital asset. It's going to have a digital footprint. It's going to be able to be traded and moved around digitally. That would be through cryptocurrencies or NFTs. They're going to, however they decide to do that tokenization, but it has to be on a blockchain ledger somewhere. It could be on multiple blockchains. It could be on one blockchain. There is a plethora of this information out there. But the fact that he is on mainstream media sharing this information, that's where we're going, it's very important for us as a community to understand that. So we're going to take a quick break here and welcome everybody in. Thank you so much for being here. Again, we encourage everybody to jump up here on stage or drop chats in the chat channel if you have questions. If there's a topic that you're interested in and like, hey, I want to learn more about this, or how does this, tie in? Last week we had a couple of different individuals. I know Leonard was up here and he was helping, he was like, well, how does, tokenization come into play? He was asking these questions and it really helped, lay out the land for some people. So again, I welcome everybody to jump up here and be a part of this conversation. So it's just not me only talking, but again, if you guys are in listening mode, we love it. We greatly appreciate it. Again, you can watch us live at thehellollc.io in our metaverse. So jump into the Hello Plaza metaverse. You'll see the button out there and, check everything out. And guys, this conversation is just about, for you guys to gain some strategy and some understanding about the lay of the land. It's kind of like use me as Google Maps, use me as a Siri, somebody that has a bit of a lay of the land of what's going on and how it's going to be interwoven. Again, I don't have all the answers. This is all, conversations of understanding macro and microeconomics. And how many of you did I just take back to economics class and you're like, oh God, no, I hated econ in high school. I was not a fan either. I slept through half of it because it was the class right after lunch and I would eat a big lunch and I'd be asleep through econ. And, so point being is this does not always appeal to a lot of people. And so, the big question a lot of people have is how is it going to affect my business or businesses in general? So, let's dive into that side of this. Mr. Jones, before I do, did you have any questions about this, or did you want to jump in and add, what you kind of learned?
With a lot of people that are in the room, if you could, go down, just in simple one sentence, explanations, because you explain the difference between blockchain. Can you share with people what blockchain is? And then I'll ask you the next one, because I think a lot of the times most people don't know the foundational words. And when they hear crypto, they think of just Bitcoin, and it's not. So very short, right? Because today's topic is crypto and commerce, how businesses can thrive in the new age. So that's really what we're focusing on, is making sure that business owners can understand this is not something that they should be skipping over.
Yeah.
If you own a business, if you are doing transactions, this is not something you can be like, oh, I'll wait till later. No, you need to be learning about this now.
Yeah.
Like the analogy from the beginning. Don't be showing up to the networking event at 1:05 and then wondering why your business isn't working, because you asked them to pay attention, because you weren't being preventative with your business. And that's what we find a lot of the times in business, is that people aren't preventative, but yet they talk about they have a business, but then they don't learn about actually the rules of having a business.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's, super easy. I always like to use the tree analogy.
Yeah.
So let's just think of a big oak tree. We know it's going to have deep roots. It's going to have a big trunk. It's going to have, some big broad branches that come out off of it at the top. Off of those branches are going to be smaller branches. And on those smaller branches, you're going to have some leaves, and maybe at some point they'll produce, a bean pod or whatever they produce to, for their reproduction process. So the analogy of the tree is, the tree in its entirety is known as fintech. Financial technology is what fintech stands for. Fin is financial, tech is technology. So fintech, which is basically anything that we are doing now is in the financial, within the finance sector, is financial technology, because it is taking finance and marrying it to technology, right? So as a whole, the whole tree, the whole industry, the whole area of expertise is known as fintech. Your blockchain, a lot of people are like, what's the difference between blockchain and cryptocurrency? Blockchain is the ledger that we keep the record of transactions. So, back in the day, some of us that are, over 35 years old, I don't mean no disrespect to anybody younger, but, and maybe your parents taught you this, but to balance a checkbook. How many of you, had a first checking account and it came with a checkbook and you had to balance that checkbook and go through that? My mom was an accountant, so I definitely had to learn how to balance a checkbook. My point being is that ledger is where you would register your transactions of debits and credits, voids, refunds, whatever you had going on. That's where you kept an active ledger written down. So a blockchain is a series of blocks in a technology chain. That's why it's called blockchain, that each block will register so many amount of transactions, whether purchases or sales, sales, sorry. And those different transactions that happen within cryptocurrencies and or smart documents, kind of known as NFTs. And so what does that look like? So the blockchain is compiled of transactions of cryptocurrencies and NFT transactions and any other digital things that will fall underneath that, tokenizations and things like that. So third, so that would be known as, the blockchain would be known as the whole roots of the tree and the whole trunk of the tree, right? And then as we have the whole entire tree, we're coming off the tree, we have these big branches that we all used to, as kids, climb up on and hang off of and dangle off of. Each of those big branches coming out is the blockchain, because they hold a series of transactions, aka a series of branches, right? So that moves us into cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrency is just a digital form of currency. That's, essentially what the definition of cryptocurrency is. So right now we are, we utilize the United States dollar, the United States coin, to make transactions if we have that. Right now, most of us are using a debit card, a credit card, a tap and go. We have it all in our Apple Pay, so we tap and go, or have some sort of, holder in our card or our our smartwatches that we can do these tap and goes, which is a payment. It's a digital payment. So that utilizes a currency. That would be, right now it's the United States dollar they're utilizing, but in the future it'll roll over to be utilizing a currency, a cryptocurrency. So right now we have cryptocurrencies as, the little branches off of the big branches, right? So, and guys, there's over 20,000. I think there's like 22,000+ cryptocurrencies known to man right now. You could go out there right now and make your own if you wanted to. Anybody could do that on blockchain. And then last but not least are NFTs. Those are known as smart contracts, digital smart contracts. We know them very prevalently as the ape NFT or some of these other NFTs that really, really popular back in 2021, 2022 kind of time frame, when, every celebrity had an NFT or was getting an NFT and whatnot. So the use case for NFTs is really much more than that. It's where you're going to be able to utilize these smart contracts, buying a house, selling a house, buying a car, a title to a car. It's going to be any kind of contract in a digital form. So that's like kind of the basis of those. NFTs could be also known as those branches, the little branches and the leaves that are on the tree. So that's your whole kind of analogy as a whole. So you guys understand how they're interconnected. Again, you could go into a real intricate understanding, but that's a high level of understanding what the glossary terms are within that. Did that cover that?
Yeah,
Mr. Jones?
absolutely. Absolutely. For those of you that do not know, we highly encourage you all to come and join us in our Hello Plaza metaverse, where you guys can join from your cell phone, from your laptop. If you're watching us live right now on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitch, on Spaces, on our Facebook, you can definitely use our QR code that's at the top left-hand corner, and you can be able to, boom, go straight to our Biz in a Box utilizing our QR code, so you don't have to worry about putting in thehellowllc.io, and that leads you straight to our amazing Biz in a Box. If you guys do not know about our Biz in a Box, I would highly encourage you to upgrade your crusty, dusty, old, outdated website that you probably haven't updated before the pandemic, after the pandemic, or you don't know how to update it, which a lot of entrepreneurs don't, because we share with people that you're great at the training, you're not the best at the transaction. And that's where you all have to get ahead of the curve on understanding how to utilize this AI, how to utilize this, this metaverse, how to utilize different systems in your business so you can stop being the janitor in your business and you can be the actual president of your business. And that's the great thing about our Biz in a Box. It's a done for you system where a lot of people are like, oh my God, this is coming, that is coming. Or you have people that are just straying it away. And this is that technical debt that starts to take place, where you start falling so far behind in technology that you have to shut down your doors because it's going to cost you too much, or you don't know what to do and you're already lost behind because competition has opened up those four most expensive things: a closed mind, a closed mouth, and a closed heart, and a closed hand. And just like Miss Caroline down here, she just asked, this question, which was a great question, love. How does, how does this crypto, this blockchain, this fintech technology, this new wave of utilizing our technology impact, nonprofits and charities? Make it short because I got something else that I want to talk about. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you so much, Carolyn, for jumping in and dropping these questions in the chat channel. We greatly appreciate that. So how will fintech, is it going to be a good thing, bad thing? Well, we don't know because we can't tell the future. But the good thing is that I see for charities or nonprofits is the ability to have different currencies to be accepted for donations. So you have your donations, you have your ability for people to, right now donate to you, whether it's physical cash money, obviously through a paper trail, or, that some people donate property or real estate or, a car or something like that. What's going to happen in the future is that through charities will be able to create their own cryptocurrency and or token, and that token you could say or NFT, depending on how this they choose to set it up. But they would be able to say, okay, you purchase this NFT, or you can buy these tokens, and these tokens, 10% of these tokens or 10% of this purchase price is going to go to the nonprofit side, or to the whole thing's nonprofit, but to the charity side of being able to donate. And then on the other side, the 90% or whatever you choose of the equation, that's going to go into operation costs. That's going to go into this. That's going to, it's kind of like the Tom's shoes. Think of Tom's shoes. Every pair you buy, one pair is donated. It's going to be very similar to where we can create our own projects, our own, entities, to where you can say, well, you'll get special access to this conversation or these weekly conversations or these classes or whatever, and 10% of everything that you on that goes towards this side of the charity or nonprofit. It's going to allow us as entities to have the ability to create these packages to where people will get goods and services from you, but part of the money that they're paying you is going to go over into the nonprofit to help stabilize and, provide organization, and, costs, or cover organization costs, and things like that, management costs, whatever it is, operational costs of some sort. So it is going to allow a greater opportunity to come down the pipeline. Mr. Jones?
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, Ms. Caroline, hopefully that answered your question. Please feel free to come up on here and ask questions. Mr. Leonard, how you doing, sir? Welcome back. And, as we talk about, some of the key factors of how this will impact business, I want you all to understand this, that you're going to be able to increase your sales by customer satisfactions, by making these frictionless payments. I know for us as a business, and you all as a business, it's really, shut up and take the money. And the easier you can be able to process the money, the easier it can be for that person to make a decision. It improves cash flow and financial, management, especially those of you that have multiple different services. It enhances security as well for you and your customer. It also, levels the playing field. Fintech levels the playing field by offering alternative financial options and making cross-border transaction easier. Like we said, yesterday we had a huge, sale, and I was pissed. I said, PayPal took how much? What? Even Stripe, they would take that. And so this is where we're really going to get to the point to where there was a gentleman that Tara shared the other day. This gentleman shared, transitioned millions of dollars over and paid it, and $50 million
for less than 20 cents in less than 3 seconds.
Boom. And so this is where we're going, utilizing this technology. So if your broke brother-in-law, your broke sister-in-law is telling you, hey, don't listen about crypto or any of this new technology, and they're voting on American Idol from last year, I highly encourage you to stop listening to them. And this is what is going on and has been going on, especially as we're getting into this new age of technology. What happens is that people that are unaware, people that are unknowledge, they get fearful of these things. And when you're fearful of these things, you will say and do anything and everything to keep people at distance, at bay from learning these things, because sometimes it might take away from their pot. It might take away from their advantage. And so this is where we encourage you guys to really understand the facts, right, over your feelings, and to understand some of you right now, put an emoji up if you don't mind. You ain't even much got $50 in your wallet or in your purse right now.
You don't got 20.
You might not have 20 in your purse or your wallet right now.
We don't mean that you don't have it.
Yeah.
You just mean that you don't have it in cash.
You don't have it in cash. And so in all reality, you are already there. There was 169 billion non-cash transactions just in 2022, 2 years ago, okay? When we talk about mobile wallets, some of you are using your phone already or doing PayPal or Cash App or Venmo and things of that sort. They're saying
The tap and go.
Yeah, they're saying that the mobile wallet transaction value will reach $18.7 trillion by 2025. That's next year. We're literally already we're at 7 months, guys. We're halfway through the year. So your champagne and your popping bottles and your fireworks and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to grow my business here. Where are you at 7 months into 2024? And this is where we encourage you guys to really take a deep dive into who you're being, into how you're showing up, and the energy and vibration. Are you talking or are you walking? And there's a lot of talkers, but not a lot of people want to walk. And saying in a different way, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody's ready to die. Right?
Well, let's think of this. You go into a grocery store and, if they don't have a sign up that says, that they're not accepting cash or, coin, what are the forms of payment that you can pay right now? Cash, coins, obviously, check. And now they run those checks as digital. So they hand you the check right back and, it's already been processed like a debit card. Debit cards and credit cards. Those are the 4 to 5 different ways of transaction or payment methods that different e-commerce and commerce, brick and mortars accept. We're in a tap and go society, like David just shared. You have a digital wallet on your phone, and so that Apple Pay is a digital wallet that you allow tap and go. That is tied to a debit card or a credit card. What's going to happen is they're going to eliminate the debit credit card, portion of this, and it's all going to be digital. Right now, if you logged into your bank, 99% of us do online banking. 20 years ago, online banking was just coming around. 30 years ago, it was non-existent. And the reason I share those things is because, you're going to have to learn as an e-commerce or a commerce site to be able to accept digital payments. And that is through cryptocurrencies. Mr. Jones?
And so, we also talk about, streamlined finances. 70% of small businesses use cloud accounting software for real-time tracking. Reduces fraud. Fintech solutions can protect businesses from the 2.8 trillion lost globally to fraud in 2020.
You want to know why?
Why is that?
Blockchain. Because there is a transaction on everything. Everything that happens is a transaction. So it is digitalized to where everything is, to be able to be seen. So there's a pro and a con to that, guys. We're not going to get in the pro and con conversation of that, but there's a pro and a con to that tracking, and that will eliminate. Right now, fraud happens because you can't track cash unless you have a paper trail of someone being honest about where their cash is going. But because of this, there's so many people that want to operate in cash to be able to mitigate that paper trail. And so fraud is mitigated through having a proper paper trail.
Yeah. And so, some of the other ones, and Chris, I want to definitely get you in on this, is the global reach. Cross-border business-to-business payments market will reach $43 trillion by 2026. Easier access to new international markets, which is why we continue to share with you guys, you got to be able to expand your brand. Now more than ever is a time for you to be on more social media outlets than ever. Your old crusty dusty email campaigns, your old asking people to join your newsletter or subscribe to your newsletter, that shit is out and gone, right? You have to be able to do these live events, have to be able to host your own, audio events. A podcast is a great thing that you don't have to do every week. You could do every 2 weeks, and you can have similar conversations, what you like, what you passion, whatever it is, but you have to do something different to get yourself out there, because if nobody knows about your business, because you're not talking about your business, you don't have a business. And so this is just a precursor to why we continuously keep sharing with you guys, get out of your own way and start showing up, because this is just like algebra class. If your ass don't do your homework the first week, the second week, the third week, and then come the fourth week, you fresh out of luck.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at now. Especially some of you might be experiencing that right now. Just when I said social media, Some of you might not know where to go and post, where to go and start an event, how to start an event, what to do, what to say, because we haven't been doing it. And this is why we say, show up and press the damn button. You don't have any buttons to any nuclear codes. You're not going to blow up your next door neighbor, although some of you might want to blow their asses up. You're not going to blow up your ex-girlfriend or your ex-boyfriend or your current one right now. You wish you had a button for that too. But I promise you, if you just start pressing buttons, you will find yourself so far ahead than you will behind, especially as we talked about that movie yesterday, right? Inside Out 2. Where we have all these emotions that are inside of us, from our joy, our anger, our anxious, our sadness, our fear, our envy, our embarrassment, our boredom, our disgust. Which one of those is running the show? Because just like when we showed up to practice, whether it was volleyball, basketball, baseball, whatever you practice, you got better at. And as life has moved on, some of us have practiced at being bitter. Some of us have practiced at being angry. Some of us have practiced at being fearful. And now that is who we are. And this is where we all can regain our power and go back to the drawing board and reprogram. Just like when your phone starts messing up, you shut it off and you shut it back on. Go sit your ass in a corner, go meditate, right? Go work out, go do something different and reprogram yourself and say, hey, no more fear. Hey, no more me worrying about what my friends, what my family is going to say about me posting. I give you a huge pointer out. Please stop posting on your personal page. Go build a business page. Go build a business Facebook page. Go build a TikTok page. I heard somebody say earlier they didn't like TikTok. I'm like, whoa. You mean to tell me you don't want to be on the second largest SEO that's competing with the number one SEO? You realize you're allowing your feelings to get in the way of your business, right? You understand what you just said. That's like me saying, I don't want to be on the internet right now for my business. And so those of you that do have that hesitation about TikTok, I'm here to share with you. I highly encourage you to start a TikTok page so you can start posting about your business. And this is where AI comes into the factor. Well, if you guys haven't learned about our Pivot membership, I highly encourage you to learn about our Pivot membership, where we share with you guys an AI tool that literally allows you to post on one actual app, and it does all the rest for you. It posts on your Instagram. It posts on your Instagram story. It posts on your Facebook. It posts on your Facebook story. It posts on your TikTok. It posts on your Instagram. It posts on your YouTube, your Google SEO, which some of you don't even have now. I highly encourage you, if you have a business, you need to be running to Google. You need to be running to Google and going to set up a Google account for your business so you can start getting your customers and clients to leave you reviews. Literally yesterday, we had a client ask us about reviews. And I was like, yeah, reviews, let's get it. Go look up The Hello LLC, Houston, Texas, and you're going to find us, and you're going to see 5-star ratings and all the reviews. Boom, question solved, answer solved. Do you have that for your business? And so these are some of the tips and tricks. Like I said, week 1, week 2, week 3, where are you at, right, of doing your homework and really being able to build your business. And so one of the last things is open banking boom. Opening banking has a potential to unlock 1.3 trillion in new global revenue by 2024. And we had a room on that the other day where this cryptocurrency, you all can become your own bank at the end of the day. And that is why these banks are kind of keeping this on the hush hush, to where now they can come to you and say, hey, come get this, come get this, come get this from us, not realizing that you could do that. And so hopefully that registered and rung some bells for a lot of you guys. If you guys want to know more about our Pivot membership, please go into the chat. I'll put the link in there, especially those of you that are on our Clubhouse. Our Pivot membership starts at $7 a month. That's 23 cents a day. Join that and definitely be a part of our Pivot membership, where Tara has a whole entire section on our fintech. You can learn new strategies, learn how to set up your Google SEO, learn how to do your YouTube, learn this TikTok, learn all these social media apps. And then we also help you monetize your business with giving you ideas that you might not have ever thought about, but you probably should be doing it. ASAP, right? And so hopefully you guys also are catching on. But other than that, Chris, brother, welcome. It's been a long time, man, since we've seen you. I know you got some value on this. What you want to share with the folks if you're available, brother?
David, Tara, always a pleasure. Really, always appreciate you guys. And man, your guys' consistency and curve on this has been unmatched. I mean, you guys have been beating the drum and consistently talking about this stuff for years now. I mean, I would say you guys were 10 years ahead when you started talking about this, and now it's just everything you said is materializing. I didn't realize you guys were actually live streaming this on Facebook too. I just followed your Hello LLC page, and it's so cool to see you guys and your meta characters doing this. Can you hear me now? Like, can people that you're streaming to hear me on the Facebook stream?
Yeah, everybody can hear.
Or is it just you guys? Oh, nope, that's so cool, man. Yeah, dude, I'm so inspired by you guys, and I didn't realize, like, because a lot of times people are on this app, and it's so easy to just keep talking and not realize how you can spread. You could be streaming what you're doing on here. You could be doing so many different things at the same time. You don't have to just be empty conversations and having on all your content, frankly, going nowhere. Because a lot of times, I mean, I wish I would have recorded so many conversations and done so many interviews with people that I talked to on here, and I would have had so much content, but I wasn't taking advantage, and it's like, it's not that we don't know, it's that we're not willing to do a little bit more of the action. I'll give you guys a good example. I just completed dinner with my family and everything. I was just about to start dinner. I just completed, like, wrapping up and cleaning and everything. I'm like thinking about dinner. I'm like, oh, should I go on right now and start getting involved in a conversation? I might mess up on dinner. I might, not show up. And I was making excuses of the not come in this room. But I knew you guys would challenge me. I knew you guys would make me, think more and work in that regard. And I got to be honest, I didn't come in right away because I didn't want to do the work. And I said, what am I doing? I got a little bit of time here. I could make it happen. I could hear what they're doing. If I can't speak, that's okay. But I can at least tap in and get inspired and get moving on the things I'm really trying to do too, which is really impact people, right? Everybody sees that you can make at least a side hustle online, if not a full-blown business, or make things the way you want them and stop giving your dream to somebody entirely, right? Nothing wrong with a 9-to-5, nothing wrong with, I have a full-time job. We need it, right? The economy's hard, but you can also do more. You can be yourself without compromising your job. I know that's a big thing people get afraid of. They don't want to make content because the whole censorship, the nuances of it all. But there's a way. Again, it's all about really understanding your wording, what you're doing, getting around people like David and Tara who really know what they're doing, learning. Every time I've paid to play, every time I have somebody teach me and I learn from somebody and paid for the mentorship I need, because I can't do it alone, right? I have to humble myself. I can't do it alone. I get 10 chapters ahead because all I needed was to be connected with people that were actually a chapter or two ahead or whatever, that knew more than what I was doing and knew how to inspire me to action. Because most of us know what we have to do. It's just the action part, and so I always love hearing you guys, and it's like you're talking about how, like, everything will, like, seem like it's blowing up when you're entering in these new fields, like, or when you're going in the metaverse, or like you feel like everything you knew about your normal way of doing things is going to be challenging, and, like, it's going to shake your world a little to change your routine. But you have to force yourself to understand these new modalities because everything's always changing. The opportunity is always presenting itself, and if we're consistently figuring out what's working, who's really taking action, who's really, people that are walking the walk, then we can reap the benefits later on, if we're just consistently. So, for example, I'll say, I won't be too long-winded. I've been on Facebook for forever, right? And right now, and every platform that is written, X, Facebook are the two main ones that you write on, right? You actually writing. People want the storytelling aspect. I've been just putting a nice catching picture and then writing a story. It doesn't necessarily have to be related to the picture, but it captivates the attention. And that's what's working. That's what always has worked. And then once you have people that are listening to what you're saying in your story, right? Everything we're doing is storytelling in some fashion, right? And the only thing that people connect with is stories. So whatever we're trying to accomplish, whatever endeavor or whatever solution we have to provide, or whatever thing we're actually trying to give to the world, if we have a storytelling fact form behind it, we'll get more people to listen, because people don't want to hear gimmicky stuff. And people are understanding that, okay, this is the way the world is working. Like those who have been most vulnerable and those who really have communities that they're pouring into and really doing it, right? Your guys are a good example. This is a community. Every time I come here, I get poured into. You guys, I've seen you guys pour into people. You guys are really doing the business in the box. You guys are really doing that. That's where you win over time, because people don't want just whatever. People are not stupid, you know? So all this ads and everything is changing. The whole climate is changing now to where they really want the authenticity. They want to be a part of something. And so what you guys are doing is not only teaching, but it's making us feel like a part of it. And I'm sorry to be so long-winded. There's so much I want to say, but I really, think it's important for us to look at how can we convey what we're doing? How can we convey the solution we're providing to the world in a story fashion that gets people to understand that we're not just trying to sell them something. We're actually putting them in the driver's seat, right? Because when you're telling a story, it's literally not just about you. Like a good story, if it was about you, you wouldn't bother to tell it, because it's difficult. Like me coming in this room, me going into Alyssa's improvised room, sometimes I've done in the past. It's tough, right? You've got to put yourself into the little bit of the fire. But that's what makes everything happen, is that you were just bold enough to open your mouth. And that's where everything happens. Everything is words and communication, and the better we can communicate with people, the more impact we can have on their life. And if we're truly honest, if we're truly doing what we mean, like we're showing up all the time, we're consistent, people will start to know, like, and trust you. And before you know it, the community takes off in and of itself. People start actually doing, connecting beyond you having to show up there all the time. You can go in and expand yourself. You can digitize yourself. You can go and do all these different avenues, and it won't feel so daunting anymore. Like, oh, I got to do the work. You feel like inspired that you're doing something, you're affecting people, and you're not alone in this world. And I actually been more connected with people online than in the real world as of late. So it's very powerful, and I'm grateful for you guys being on the forefront of it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I can
Chris.
relate to that.
Go ahead, Alyssa. What you got?
I said he makes me feel better knowing that he's in more connection with people online than in real life. And I've come into, and I wanted to cry when you said, David, earlier, social media is needed no matter what. The same week, my Facebook account, which I started using again, I had the one since 2003, and I left it. And then when I wasn't able to do literal stand-up, I started putting content on my Facebook page. And then I saw the Threads thing, and I started using that too. I started using Twitter again. And anyways, I was getting, Facebook started growing like rapid fire again, and it got hacked and deleted somehow. And there's two still fake ones of my name out there. And I do not know how to, I was told by a scammer that it can be retrieved. So I don't know if that's possible. Actually, by a new member of Clubhouse who's amazing, guys must meet her. Her name's Gina, but I know she must be super busy because she reassured me the last time. She's like, oh, I can do that because like her background is cybersecurity, and she has raised millions of dollars in grants. It's just the room we were in was about business and grants, but she knows her stuff. And oh, sorry, anything is too close to my face. I was just going to say, I'm like on hold right now. And from Facebook, I was getting noticed by people that have large podcasts. Apparently, I didn't know who they were. And I was getting asked to do interviews. And then the same week, my computer breaks down, like is dead. And then 3 nights ago, I came to log on here, and you know the microphone thing that's going on, wacky, like when you come into a room or if you rejoin a room, your mic, your voice doesn't come out, but even though it's off. And that was happening in the voice actors doing improv rooms. We usually just log off and log back in, which had been working fine. I did that, but I logged back in and I had to create a new account, and I didn't have a second device to see the code, they send you to put in, but usually, I don't know. And I'm in a rut. And if anyone out there, which in exchange I'm offering like tenfold in ways of making you known, because I did have a total of over 12,000 members, followers on this platform alone. And they are all people that, like, I'm cut off and I have to decide who I'm friends with, because I really do know, these people. Sometimes I may, forget them a little bit, but it takes a bit to remember them. And I need to get this back, and I made this account, and I know my account is still here. I saw it.
Hey,
People
Alyssa,
reassured me they saw
Alyssa,
it.
I got to stop you because we're on multiple different platforms, and I definitely want to keep to our topic of that.
Yeah,
So
and
definitely
I
hit us.
joined you on LinkedIn,
Awesome.
and I saw you had a LinkedIn account too. So the lives you were emphasizing, I want to utilize lives on like Facebook once I get that back.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. What I'll do is I'll definitely I put my my actual discovery our appointment in the actual chat. Book an appointment with us, and I definitely can share with you more. And even more so, like I said, join our Pivot membership, and we have well over 100 videos, if not more, to show you these little trinkets of how you can do this, how you can do that, and be able to really excel yourself. Because it's not that people don't want to do it. It's a lot of the times people just don't know what buttons to press. And prime example for Miss Caroline down there, she asked an amazing question that I want to get to is, how can the metaverse, and even for yourself, Miss Alyssa, on the security of utilizing the metaverse, right? How can the metaverse help out her nonprofit and charities? As we talk about this cryptocurrency, as we talk about this blockchain, as we talk about this fintech technology, which is, Chris, I appreciate, brother, you shared that, we've been 10 years ahead. I would say maybe 5, but you are correct. We have been sharing these things for the longest times, and now it's coming to fruition where some people are just now understanding the benefits of metaverse, of AI, and it not just being ChatGPT, but utilizing the metaverse for nonprofits is immersive fundraising events. Ms. Caroline, now you no longer have to just have your certain community or your location. You now can be able to get on metaverse and be able to have a whole entire conversation and hold a fundraiser event in all over the world, where not only can you hold it, but it can be continuously running 24/7. Just like right now in our Hello Plaza, that I want you guys to press 4 buttons, and instead of joining us in this crusty, dusty ass 2D or on all these social audio apps, come and jump into the metaverse. And I would love to see more of you guys join us in the metaverse other than these traditional apps, because why are we talking about it when you can experience it at the same pace? And I'm going to do something right now. The first person that joins me in the Hello Plaza metaverse, in our Hello Plaza metaverse, from your phone, from your laptop, from your iPad, I'll give you a free month of our Pivot membership. So there goes some incentive as well. It's literally go to thehellollc.io. If you're watching us live, hit that QR code to get a jump start. There's a big ass button that says Hello Plaza. You press that button, you download an app, come back to our Biz in a Box, hit that big ass button again, and boom, you'll drop straight into our Hello Plaza. And Tara and I are standing right here now. So the first name that pops up, I'll be able to tell exactly who that is. And so the next thing for you, Miss Caroline, is you get to tell a 3D storytelling of whatever your nonprofit is about, especially with our Hello AI MotionWorks. We can build out an AI avatar of whatever you want to talk about. And you literally get to be able to showcase this in the event where you can have different testimonies. You can do different things, right? Virtual volunteering. You now, instead of you having people come to a community center to volunteer to help other people learn about, your nonprofit, you now can be able to have a volunteer virtually, where you set times where, people can come into your metaverse world, and anybody that joins, they can answer their questions. They can lead them to one area. They can go to another area. Like I said, it's a global reach as well. You're no longer just in your one community. Okay. And you're building community at that. Now, instead of you having, your meetings in, and on Zoom or in one particular place, you now can have people meet you from all around the world to where your organization gets bigger, which education and awareness is spread out like no other. If you're nonprofit and or charity, get that right, is about mental support, you now can have a whole entire support group. Like with Empowered, Miss Cleo Matthews, she helps people with substance abuse. I didn't know this, but people that go to AAA, if you tell them, you are utilizing other substances or this, that, and the other, they kick you out, which is crazy in my.
If you're utilizing a substance to help you, if you have a prescription drug that's helping you kick whatever addiction you have, they don't consider that clean.
Yeah, they will kick you out. And so this is where she's created a group for people to come and join her in her community and have these conversations. And she's created a whole entire environment around that. And so there's so many opportunities that you guys can be able to utilize the metaverse for. And for you, Miss Alyssa, when we talk about, the security, multi-factor authenticity, prime example. We got somebody in here. Who is that? If you come off mic and let me know who that is. Let me see who that is. Who is that? I can't. Can you?
Yep.
And so we'll figure out who that is, or come off mic.
It's me.
Who's me? Chris. Boom.
Oh man, this is so cool. Yeah, this is Chris. I don't know why I'm a female character, but they just generated that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, now all you need to do is at the very. Are you on your?
I've been on there the last 30 minutes.
Alyssa was on there though. I gotta say, I saw Alyssa in the lobby first. Though.
Okay.
She
Well,
just
there you go, Miss Alyssa.
Where you guys were.
Boom.
She beat me on there.
I don't know how to navigate these things.
So are you on your computer or on your phone?
I'm on my phone.
Okay.
My computer is broken.
That's fine. On your phone, if you gotta hold it sideways, right? On your phone in the very left corner, there's a white little ball, and you use it like it's the up and down and side to side arrow, and you can maneuver and you can press. So that's how you move around. And so I tell you what, I'll send you guys both a free month of our Pivot membership that you guys can have access to. So if you can, send me your email address, and we'll give you guys access into our Pivot membership that you can be able to.
And there's a whole section about cryptocurrency. Yep,
there's a whole section on cryptocurrency as well. Okay. And so congratulations on that. And that, my friends, is how you press the button. And Chris said it at the very beginning, we want more for you guys than from you, because now that you're in here, it's not just me talking about it. And Miss Alyssa, how easy was it for you to jump in here?
Very, very easy.
Boom. Was it what? So be honest. When we first talked about it, did you say, "Ooh, I'm not sure"? Did some inkling come up and say this might be a little tough, or I'm not going to know how to do that?
Well, I was The only reason I recognized what I was seeing and what you were saying I was about to do was because I was picked to be a character in a series on an avatar. Like they would watch it on this thing. It was real high tech. They designed it, and I was just there to move and be the voice. I think they were gonna move it for me because I was just jumping around. Like I didn't know where to go. I was just looking around. I didn't see anything white, the ball you were talking about. But yeah, I was looking at the buttons at the top. So I know you just have to fiddle with it to make your avatar or so I mean I've had experience with using it.
Awesome.
The metaverse, but that's the only experience I've had. So
Yeah.
but I have multi businesses, and this is something that I really would think help my other one in regards, because it's an education information business. So yeah, I'll shut up. I just wanted.
No, it's
to
okay.
say
I appreciate it. Well, you answered the most important question, right? Was that it was easy. And I know that this is something, that we get all the time, is that some people say, oh, I'm not sure how it's going to be or how easy. And we really mind screw ourselves at the beginning of the day. I mean, let's just imagine all the people that, if you can remember, when somebody sent you a Zoom and you're like, why the hell would I just do a Zoom? Why don't you just talk to me on the phone? And then you got on Zoom, you're like, oh shit, this is a whole lot better. I can do this, I can do that. And this is where we are right now, to where literally yesterday our conversation for our Helpful How-To Tuesdays was Zoom versus Metaverse. Why it's time to elevate your virtual meetings. And we shared some amazing facts of, how you're going to get 70% more, more engagement utilizing Metaverse than this actual traditional 2D flat screen, Zoom, or like we shared yesterday. You'll hear people that will say that they're utilizing, Metaverse, and I'll get the name of it. I'm like, no, this is not Metaverse. You're talking about some goofed up Zoom that has blocks and games, and that's not Metaverse. And that's what I was sharing with you guys. Be careful of who you listen to, because sometimes who you listen to will lead you in the wrong direction, and they'll stir you in the wrong direction. And so, getting back to the topic at hand, love, for those of you, and Chris and Miss Elijah, please, I'll get with you guys on the back end and get your email addresses to get you access into our Pivot membership that you'll have for a whole entire month. I appreciate you guys stepping in and sharing. Chris, for you real quick, how easy was it for you to get in, brother? I know he's.
It was really easy. Yeah, I was running around. I was watching you guys in spatial on the screen in real time, and it was almost perfect, because the timing wasn't perfect because I'm on my phone, but I bet you if I was on my computer I'm sure if I was on a Oculus or something, I could be seeing you guys in person on your feed that you're doing, and as my avatar. This is so cool, man. I can't believe no one's on this, dude. This is just a matter of time before everyone gets on. It was really easy. I just clicked the link and went to the button you guys have. Your website looks nice too. It's very easy to use. And then it just prompted me to download the app. And I normally read more of the user agreements and stuff, but it's all the same crap. Every app is the same thing. So I've read them before. Whatever. I'm interested in it. I want to get involved in it. And so I just downloaded the app and put my email in, and that's it. Boom. I just entered right away. I didn't update my avatar or anything. I didn't look at the back end. But how would I get, I had to go back. I accidentally exited the whole game, the whole Hello LLC lounge. And then I had to go back into your link here. How would I just type in Hello LLC and spatial and it'll show me your world? Or
yeah. Well, if you want to come back to our world, right, you would literally be able to log into that app now. And while you're in here, what you can do is heart this room.
Love the space.
And now it will show up in your love spaces. or your most recent spaces for you to be able to come back. And definitely somebody mentioned podcasts as well. This is also the new wave of showcasing your podcast. Instead of you having people go into Spotify or into Apple and you competing with everybody else's podcast, you now get to have it to where, hey, come and listen to my podcast. Where right now you guys can go into our Getting Naked room, which is that balloon in our Hello Plaza, that you can listen to the recording of our last episode. If you want to hear me and Tara argue in live and color, that episode is probably the one you want to hear, and you're going to get some juicy stuff. And so, and as we shared with you guys, it was going to be real, it was going to be raw, it was going to be authentic. And so definitely go and listen to it. But anybody that has a podcast, right, I highly encourage you guys to take a look at our Biz in a Box, because our Biz in a Box, people don't have to go and download Spotify. You literally get to listen to our podcast right on our Biz in a Box, so you can avoid all that download, because a lot of the times people don't go and download those apps. I'm letting you know that right now. I'm so glad that you guys downloaded the app, and this is what gets in the way, is people going and pressing some buttons and then being able to say, damn, yeah, I got another business that I can be able to do this. Oh, instead of me doing this, I can do this. Oh, I got this webinar that I'm going to do, and I'm doing it on old ass Zoom. Why would I not have my people in here? We did our first webinar, our masterclass in Metaverse, and we gave people the option to meet us on Zoom or in our Metaverse world. And we were able to share our screen into Zoom from the Metaverse world. And halfway through our masterclass, guys, our Zoom, we shut it down. Nobody was on the Zoom because they all came in to Metaverse to experience, it in a different way. And like I said, 70% more engagement, other than you looking with that cheesy ass smile on your face while your camera's on, acting like you're paying attention when you're really not. Where now you can come in with an avatar and dress it up however you want to and be more engaged, which is the crazy thing when you're not showing your face. And you can turn on your camera. And Chris, you are correct. If we weren't in this room, I would literally unmute myself, and we would all be able to hear each other in this room. And so this is what I've been sharing with you guys. This is the new Clubhouse. This is the new LinkedIn. This is the new, Chatter. This is the new audio video version of us building a community. And now we all have the ability to build our own. And that's what business is now. Create and build your own community. Mm-hmm. Because when you do that, then you have a 70% chance that people are going to purchase your products, period, point blank. Right? Because it's no longer LeBron James or Jennifer Lopez or all these big stars that you see showcasing people's products anymore. Real talk. Nobody's watching TV anymore. Everybody's on TikTok or social media, and there's these different cliques in these different areas that we all pay attention to that have more influence on us than the LeBron James or the Jennifer Lopez. And I know I'm using horrible names, but I don't know who's who right now because we're so entrenched in our business. But this is where you guys have to be able to make this transition and pivot. Just like for Miss Elizabeth, I was just on her podcast that will be launched here in a little bit. She now can say, hey, instead of me meeting you on Zoom or me meeting you on StreamYard, how about, you meet me in my Metaverse world and we get to have the same conversation, and my guest and your friends can come and join us in this Metaverse space. And now my podcast has become a whole entire, production where people can ask questions, answer questions, they can be a part of it. And now this is an engagement for us all to interact. And so this is a huge portion that we share with you guys. And look, if you do want more information, please hit us up in the back channel, email us, go to our Biz in a Box, scroll down to the bottom. There's a big ass button that says book discovery call. Book a time that works for you. Let's have a conversation. Let's invest, and let's really see how we can pivot your business into the future, right? And Amanda says she's downloading the app now and add as a favorite. Look at there. Boom. So we'll wait on you, Miss Amanda, to come in. But love, did you want to add anything else, or does anybody else have anything they want to add on or ask?
I was just going to say, I remember if you go on to Instagram, you're going to have people saying the new thing is faceless. faceless, yeah, I'm sorry, somebody's trying to talk to me. So the faceless posts, lives, how the heck do you do it? People are trying to teach ways of doing that, because that's the whole new thing. And being on Meta, then you don't have to even worry about going around that, you know.
Absolutely. You know, the thing is it comes down to, from a woman's point of view, you know, is heck, I don't want to get ready half the time. And we live in a society, and it's breaking the mold now to where a lot of people are showing up just as themselves, with no makeup and bedhead and, you know, coffee breath. And you can't even smell the coffee breath because it's, you know, digital and it's, you know, social platforms. But we're moving from where you had to be presentable, as they say, you know, or camera ready, or, you know, professional mode or whatever it is, into a space of where people don't even want to show their face anymore, you know. And to be very frank, there's sometimes content and that can be created without a face that has more of an impact than if it does have a face to it. So it is the convenience factor. I was sharing that with David and my mom, is that, you know, since we left the States, and many of you know that David and I are digital entrepreneurs. So we travel the world because our business is 100% online, thanks to the metaverse, thanks to technology, thanks to fintech, thanks to Web3 and Web2. You know, we get to be able to move around this world and see cool things and experience life in a different way than you know, having a house. And we had one, and we decided, okay, we did this, let's go do something else for a while.
I saw somebody have a deep fryer though, and I was like, damn, I wish I had a house, because I definitely have that fryer to dip my fish in or dip my chicken in, and we be on like Donkey Kong. But go ahead.
Yeah, I saw that one too. It just made you like, ooh, I'm hungry now. Thanks for making me hungry. Anywho, so, you know, we're moving towards a society that is, you know, is global. And, you know, it brings us kind of back around to the commerce side of this conversation, which we've been talking very heavily on the metaverse side, is, you know, all of these are intercombined, you know, metaverse with, you know, so VR, which is also going to have AR, which is already a thing, which is already, you know, what you can do now with some of these AR glasses that they already have out and available. But you're going to have these experiences, whether they're virtual, 100% immersive, or whether they're augmented. And then it's going to be coupled with fintech, which coupled with community. And we've been talking about all three of these aspects and commerce, because at the end of the day, we're consumers. And I think in 2020, we all had a huge eye opener of how technology really was helpful to be able to kind of keep some sense of everyday life that we were used to. So we were all used to going somewhere to a place of business. You know, technology allowed us to utilize, you know, that's when Zoom came super popular, was through the fact of, you know, the pandemic. And that's when metaverse came super popular, because it was community. And I know someone last week, I don't know if it was Leonard, but it might have been someone else last week, was asking the question about how, you know, metaverse is combined, you know, how it'll utilize cryptocurrency in the future. And I think it was somebody else, but Leonard was there for that conversation. But anyways, my point being is, you know, it's going to be just the same way right now, where you log on to Amazon to buy whatever you need. And heck, now in the States, Amazon can be delivered. I know in Houston area and the metropolitan areas, you can have in 3 to 4 hours, you can have your order.
Yeah.
You know, we have these things that are, you know, applications that where we can get Uber Eats and our food delivered to us, to our door. We can get our groceries delivered to our door. We can order our groceries online and go pick them up if that's what we choose to do. The thing is technology is allowing all of these point of transactions, point of sales to be simplified, and cryptocurrency is just going to be an even simpler it's not even a word, but even simpler in the way of being able to transact. And it's going to be instantaneous. And when I say instant, it's going to be the fact that, it's instantly debited from whoever is the payee to the payor, or the payor to the payee. Anyways, you get the person paying to the person that, has.
You get the damn point.
You get the point. I always get those backwards. I'm like employer, employee. I'm like, which one's which? So anywho, obviously I know that one, but I always have to use that reference and go think of everyone else. But my point being is it's going to simplify that point of sale is to where it's going to be instant. How many of you remember back in the 90s, even the early 2000s, before they started showing pending transactions on your bank accounts, before they started showing up with, the point of you have $100 pending at, whatever, Dillard's or something. And so now that you only have $1,000 instead of $1,100 or whatever available to spend in your account, whatever that might be. Point being is that transparency of having that, immediately drafted. Now it will be immediately drafted and for good. It won't be a pending transaction for 2 or 3 days. And so the metaverse is going to be the ability to have the commerce. That's where it's going to hold commerce and community to where we can build these spaces, have these functions, have a concert. That's why, Travis Scott was able to have how many?
7.5 million people showed up live, but overall about 27 million people came and watched. Came and watched the live, concert that he had in Metaverse.
So you should look. Anybody from Texas here? David and I, are from Houston area. Of a little state, a little town called College Station. It's where the Aggies, if anybody's an Aggie fan,
Texas A&M,
Aggies. They have a stadium up there, and 3 weeks ago, George Strait, for anybody who's a country music artist fan, they had a concert where George Strait played to 101,000 people. 101,000 people. That was the largest concert of history definitely the United States. I don't think it was the world, but it might have been. I need to double check that stat, but it was definitely within the United States. It was the largest concert in history, physically. Now you show me a stadium where you can actually put 7 point whatever million people.
Should a million.
Shoot, any of them. So it comes down to the simple fact that there's not a possibility to do that. And could you imagine the fire code issues like that would prevent having just a million people and someone yells fire or there's a stampede that happens? I mean, it's just so many risks involved for having that many people in a condensed area. And that's all it comes down to is that, the joys of virtual reality, metaverse, augmented reality too, allows us to have these experiences in the safety of the comfort of where we want to be, if we're, with family or friends or in our own home, maybe you even experience it in your church community or something, but it's a smaller community to where you're a part of a larger community, and it allows a larger community to come together. And then, how many of us have been to a traditional concert and we're like, ooh, I got to get me a George Strait t-shirt when we go, girl. And the merch line is, oh my God, the merch line is long as hell. And you're like, I do not want to wait in this line for merch. And you wish and I'm telling you right now, if they don't, this is where we come into value on, brainstorming. But if I was at merch teams for George Strait, again, I was not there. But if they don't have a QR code up on a big ass poster to where people can just go by with their cell phone and go shop the merch from the comforts of their seat while they're drinking their beer, they would have sold 3-4 times more merch if they have it available online than you happen to stand in line. Because if it's online, then you're first in line, right?
Hello.
Versus in line, you're somewhere in that line, depending on how long you've been there. So it comes down to the convenience factor. And what I was sharing earlier, and I didn't finish the statement, is When David and I moved outside of the States 2 years ago now, the biggest thing
Dr. Alice, oh my goodness.
Hey, Dr.
She's
Alice.
here.
The biggest thing I noticed when we moved out of the country was convenience. America is a nation of convenience. Most first world countries are nations of convenience. And I say that because metaverse, cryptocurrency, and commerce all comes down to convenience. Your clients, your customers all want you to be a part of, or want to be a part of you if you make their experience happy, positive, quick, effortlessly. It comes down to just simply understanding how you want to be treated. And I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to wait in a line of, 300 people, 500 people, 101,000 people were there. 10%, just 10% of people that want to buy merch. That is 10,000 people that you got to wait in line for. And so it comes down to the simple fact of, if they have that, even if they have the ability for people to jump in and watch this concert, this is what blows my mind. You're already throwing the concert. You've already went to the links to put up all of the equipment, the technical equipment, pay everybody, rent out the space to have the concert that was 101,000 people. Why would you not take the extra effort, the additional step to showcase this in metaverse? George Strait being in metaverse, he would have had millions of people showing up, because George Strait is a known name around the world. He's known like Beyonce around the world in the country music world. And so it comes down to, if they took that extra step and put it into metaverse, and then in metaverse had virtual merch venues or kiosks is what I'm looking for, where people could go up and be able to click, buy now. I want to buy some merch. And next thing you know, 5 days later, that t-shirt or that hoodie or that hat, whatever you purchased, showed up at your doorstep while you got to enjoy the concert in the comfort of your home, naked on your couch, eating bonbons and Cheetos and drinking Miller Lite or Bud Light or whatever it is that you want to drink. Point being is, you're in your house. You don't have to worry about driving anywhere. You don't have to worry about a DUI. You don't have to worry about the $20 beers either. So that's all I was going to add. Mr. Jones?
So prime example for those of you that are watching on our live feed, and then we have Chef Andy in here as well. You guys can see that this is our Hello Plaza storefront, where if you do have a business, you do have a nonprofit, you have any type of community that you want to build, the metaverse is definitely something that you should be able to implement into your business, especially utilizing our Biz in a Box. Those of you that are in our actual clubhouse room, you can go and see that link up at the top, singingchefsauces.com, where Chef Andy literally has his actual QR code that goes to his Biz in a Box. When he's out and about with people, go purchase my sauces. And oh, by the way, my sauces, you can go into metaverse. So where literally they drop into the actual store and they're able to see all of his different sauces, from his Baca cream sauces to his actual sausage and fennel to his tomato basil, where literally he can be able to say, hey, click this button that says discover more, and boom, when they click that button, it goes straight to his Biz in a Box for you guys to be able to see his Biz in a Box. And then you can also go and purchase his products and services too in the metaverse. And so this also allows Chef Andy to come in here and do some actual Zoom calls, to where he can be able to, or not Zoom calls, he can actually do some of his actual, his cooking shows. He can be able to do his Zoom calls with his other distributors and showcase his business in a completely different way, and literally drive traffic to his business and create a different experience. And that's really what we're all looking for at the end of the day, is a better experience. And that's what this metaverse gives you. And you guys just heard Chris and Miss Alasia share with you of how easy it was to get on there. And I'm pretty sure if I ask Chris or either one, and I ask, hey, which one is easier to get into? Probably metaverse, because I don't need to know the Zoom number. I don't need to know the code. I don't need to, make sure my background is together. I don't need to make sure my speaker is all put together. It's literally click and go. And so it makes it a whole lot easier. And Chef Andy, brother, if you're here, please feel free to introduce yourself and share more with us, brother.
Hey, I really love this conversation. I was just so excited when you're talking about that country artist selling the merch and people waiting in line. Yeah, when I lived in Santa Barbara, we used to go to the Beach Boys concert. Well, I actually went to the Beach Boys 50th anniversary concert out there, a number of years back. And man, the line was, too deep to get all their merch. And but right now, it's interesting because I just sent you a message in the chat, David. I want to talk to you about it because I know in 2025, things are going to start exploding for me regarding my new business. And I do want to do, the 1-2 punch. I say that because I just watched the old Rocky movie because Sylvester Stallone's birthday was last week. Anyway, the Rocky 1 was just great. Huh? Yeah. And so anyway, I want to do the double punch because when I'm at my shows, doing these big casino shows and promoting the merch, I also want to be able to have the company that I'm with, and I'll talk to you a little bit about that offline. I don't want to bring that out yet, but to get on board and to also sell the merch now. It takes once a client signs up and books my show and then gets my products, it takes 120 days to get the merch from the cookware and all that stuff from China. That's just how it is at the moment. And it does, take a little bit of time to do that. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that, David, because the company buys a lot of products because they have Santana, they have Curtis Stone, they have Ice-T from Law and Order. They have got quite a bit of other people, very celebrity chefs, Robert Irving, besides myself, and they all have merch. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that offline, David, and see how I can integrate this company with my merch sales because I also make a profit on that. So does the company. Anyway, it's a great conversation and I love it. And Adrian, where are you, Adrian?
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Yeah, I will definitely send you the calendar for you to be able to book an appointment. And for those of you that do not know about Chef Andy's Biz in a Box, I'm going to put it up here to where you guys can literally see where you can go into his Biz in a Box, where now he has his QR code, where this is where we share with you guys. You need to make it a one-stop shop because your social media is everything. And if you're just utilizing one particular application, then you're in the world of trouble. Where Chef Andy is on LinkedIn, he's on Threads, he's on Instagram, he's on Facebook, he's on TikTok, okay? He's on X, he's on YouTube. You guys need to have all of those channels in for your business to where now he's able to say, hey, go and check out my amazing sauces. He has something visual for people to see. He now can give them a quick button to his Shopify. He then also gives away his sauces, where a lot of you should be giving away his recipes. Yeah, his not sauces. He's not giving away sauces.
When did that happen?
He's giving away his recipes.
Chef Andy wants to know when that happened too. He wanted to know when he started giving away sauces.
You guys can click on this button to get his recipes. Sorry, and then you can learn more about his amazing pasta sauces. And this is literally where this becomes a one-stop shop, right? to where now he can be able to also show him his AI MotionWorks. Where if you guys don't know about our AI MotionWorks, this is something that we create an avatar that is similar to yourself or a character that you want to represent your business. You're not having to spend hours behind a camera. I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do that. No, it's done for you. And literally, this is his biz in a box that we're able to showcase. And so you guys definitely let us know if you want to get away from your crusty, dusty old website, old Linktree, old 10K thing. Let's go.
Dave.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Okay, I have, speaking of giving away some things, I have a special that's going on, and I want to share that with people. If they email me, I will send them a case of my tomato basil sauce, and I will pay the shipping from Pennsylvania as long as it's in the States, because I don't ship to Canada. And I'll get 12 jars in that case. So if anybody wants to talk to me about that, I got a couple cases at my co-packers, and it's a great deal. My tomato basil is just an awesome sauce, and I have all my recipes on my website, singingchef.com. So if anybody wants that special deal, I will cover all the shipping and everything, and they're gonna love the sauce. Thanks so much, Dave.
That's a great steal, by the way, anybody listening, because shipping is, quite shipping. Let me just say, if anybody's paying for shipping out there, they know the cost of shipping. When we were helping Chef Andy set all this up, I was astronomically surprised about what shipping is these days. So I encourage everybody to go out there. And if you want to, just go out to his Business in a Box and check that out. And his email address is up there at the top. So that's how you can get a hold of his email address if you need that. And just go out to his Business in a Box at thesingingchef.com. But Dr. Alice, it's so good to have you in here, Dr. Alice. We haven't seen you forever. We love having you around. We're talking about cryptocurrencies, commerce, metaverse, as if you haven't picked that up. We'd love for you to jump in on this conversation, just to say hi, introduce yourself. And if you want to jump in on the topic, you can.
Calling Dr. Alice.
There she is.
Just trying to unmute myself. Hello. It's been too long. Yes, Alice Duncan here from the United Kingdom. Almost my bedtime, but I thought I needed to just jump in and see what is going on. It's been a very long time since I've been in touch, but as you know, I am a faithful user and follower of everything that you do, David and Tara. And I was listening in about hearing other people's experience. I mean, I'm yet to launch out my products, but of course, you know that everything is set up on your side. I think it's a phenomenal product. You're way ahead. I haven't heard anyone having the products that you have in terms of the metaverse and being able to showcase people on there. So you're definitely right at the top of the queue in terms of this, so you should be doing very well. So I just wanted to say that yes, I've had a great working experience with you both, and anyone who is interested in promoting their business this line, I would highly recommend you both. You're so down to earth, easy to talk to, and actually very supportive. So I just want to lend my support there. And to say generally, anyone who isn't getting involved with a new technology and utilizing it, you're going to be a dinosaur in 2 seconds. You have to get on board. You have to learn what is going on and utilize it. Otherwise, you're definitely going to be a dinosaur. So I look forward to catching up with you, Tara and David, just to see where we are. I've been doing a lot of back-end work here in the UK to see, to just focus a little bit more on my business, but I'll definitely be coming to showcase what I have in the metaverse. So God bless and all the best. Thank you.
Well, God bless you, Miss Dr. Alice. We love having you here. We love, anytime you jump in here. And, you hit the nail on the head when you talked about just, you're going to be a dinosaur. And something I thought about when you said that was, Chef Andy, yourself, you guys are not of the younger generation. Ms. Rhea, you know, myself, I'm not of the younger generation. And I love to see when there is multi-generations that get in and have conversations around the future of technology. And so if you are out there and you said, well, I'm a baby boomer, I'm a Generation Xer, or I'm an older millennial,
Technology ain't my shit.
Technology ain't my thing. I want to tell you, Exhibit A, you know, of all of these amazing people in here that are not allowing technology to stand in their way, and they would be classified maybe in the baby boomer or the Gen X, you know, generation, and they're taking the bull by the horns. And so you're absolutely 100% right that if we do not get on board, I mean, guys, think back to the time when I'm going, you know, when I was a little girl, I was the remote control. Hey, change the channel. I want to see what else is on the other channels. And you'd have to get up, walk up to the TV, push the button. I literally stood by the TV like Vanna White, y'all, and I would push it. I would just do it to piss my dad or mom off too, because I'd be like rolling my eyes the entire time that I had to be the you know, remote control, thinking this is literally what I would think in the back of my head. I don't get to pick what's on the TV, meaning I don't get to watch, you know, Simpsons or whatever the heck, you know, kids were watching back then. I don't get to watch, you know, Full House. You want to watch MASH or Jeopardy or, you know, whatever it was that we were watching, the nightly news. This is not what I want to watch. So if you want to watch something, you get up here and push the button. But you can't tell your parents that. We all know how that would have ended for us. And so you get up there, you get up there and you push the button and you try to hold your disrespect behind the closed curtain so you don't get smacked to next week because, you know, of technology advancements. And so I say that because I was the kid that was like, when the VCR wasn't working, Tara, fix the VCR, you know, or, you know, the TV's not working, or this isn't working. You know, I came from really savvy parents that had very engineering kind of minds. And so but I was still the kid of technology. And so it would come to me. And the reason I bring this up is because evolution happens. We no longer use VCRs. We no longer when David and I were, you know, selling our house, I, you know, got rid of a Blu-ray DVD player that was given to me from my old boss. And I was thinking to myself, people don't even watch Blu-ray DVDs anymore. Like, you know, it's everything is, you know, everything is online. It's digital now. You can have a smart TV so you can watch it through your smart TV. And so I think about all these evolutions. And when Dr. Alice said, you're going to be a dinosaur if you don't make the move, it's so true. And it's just what happens. And guess what? Some people don't care. They're like, nope, I'm going to go live off grid and not have anything. And it's funny because a lot of people that I see living off grid now, they have Wi-Fi capabilities. They have internet capabilities. And I'm like, well, that's not fully off a grid. But the point being is, I heard this morning, then we'll pass this mic over to Miss Rhea and get Miss Rhea involved here. I heard this morning and I wanted to share it with you all. You guys, so we know that most of the world has access to a cell phone. We have families that are over in Africa that have no lights, no electricity, no running water, but they have cell phones. We have, you know, families over in the Middle East, the same thing. Their structure of, you know, the utilities of, you know, basic, you know, electricity or running water into a house, they don't have it, but they have technology. They have a cell phone. And there was an experiment done that they went to this tribe that was completely off grid. They were not a part of the, you know, they were okay with outsiders coming in. They wouldn't get killed. You know, there is that tribe. I can't remember where they're at, but there is a tribe out there that you just show up, you will die upon. Not even hi, you're dead. Anywho, that's not the point of this conversation.
Like the tribe that'll cut my head off because I'm bald headed and they think there's gold inside my head?
Oh, yeah, that's another place in Africa that David can't go because they think bald men have gold in their head.
Definitely not going there.
Anywho, so they showed up to this tribe. They took technology. It was cell phones. They were iPhones. And they showed up and said, okay, hey, they spoke to the leader of the tribe and said, we will give you these cell phones for 60 days. It has, you can call, it has full internet, everything. And in 60 days, we'll be back to pick up the cell phones. Would you like to use them? And the leader said, no, leave them. We'll try them out. And he was very kind of skeptical. 60 days came by, went by. They came back to pick up the cell phones and asked the tribe leader, said, hey, 60 days went by, came to pick up the cell phones. You guys ready to give them back? And the tribe leader said, as much as we were, anti-technology because of for so many years we have not been in tune with technology, he said, the having this technology for 60 days, access to the internet for 60 days has just completely transformed their tribe and the way they do things. And he says, we are now at a point where we cannot operate without this technology and access to internet. And so it comes down to, even the tribe leader said it, like, this was not our forte. This is not what we did. This is not what we were not a technology-based tribe and did not utilize technology. But being and having access to it has transformed our way of living into where we cannot now go back. And so when Dr. Alice shares that, it's just so resonating that we are at a point where we have to get on with what we're doing. Miss Rhea, it's so good to have you in here, love. We're having a conversation. We'd love for you to jump in, introduce yourself, say hi, and tap in on the conversation. Whatever you want to talk about, Web3, cryptocurrencies, commerce, metaverse.
Your biz in the box.
Your biz in the box.
Anything.
Anything.
Take it away.
Well, blessing everyone. Good evening. Wow, the topic is very interesting. Well, like Mrs. Tower says, my name is Rhea. I have a cleaning service. I'm actually in Atlanta. I don't know if anybody here is in Atlanta, but I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I have a cleaning service, and I also have a book that's on Amazon. And I'm also a life coach. So if anyone would like to book a free session with me or buy any of my apparel that's on my website, you guys feel free to check it out and let me know what you think. I'm always open for suggestions and however I can maybe your service, I would be honored. So thank you for that. Technology is something that I never thought I would get used to it, because back in the 80s, we didn't have cell phone. I remember when I got my first cell phone, that thing was so heavy and you had to carry it everywhere you go. Now, me being migrant from Haiti to here, I have siblings that I didn't even know or never met. And with technology and social media, they found me. So now I'm able to communicate with them through WhatsApp. And the crazy thing is, we're talking about the internet and being in Africa and different countries, they may not have the necessities, but somehow they have a cell phone. And that's something that I thought was very interesting, that my siblings, they somewhere way in the country, I don't even think they have access to like a regular bank or grocery stores, normal stuff that we have here in the city, yet they have a cell phone. They have a way to connect. So technology is definitely all over the world, is spreading. And those who doesn't know how to work technology, better go learn, take some classes, because technology is not sitting around. It's gonna get further, it's gonna be more advanced, and we have to be in tune. And that's the thing that I love about this platform. Even I don't come here often, but I try to keep up. Every time they put a new information out, I'm checking it out. I'm like, I need to educate myself. I need to stay up with technology, because this is the world that we'll be coming into. I was watching this TikTok the other day. This robot was actually making the pizza. So, and I'm sure is probably out there. If somebody can put a TikTok about it, I wouldn't be surprised if robots is making pizza in some of places that we're not aware of. Pretty soon, the grocery store, there won't be too many people at the cashier. So technology is taking over. You got self-checkout, the computer do everything. So we have to be aware and know how to utilize it for our business and everything else that we need to do. So I appreciate you all. You guys are the best. And thank you for this opportunity.
Well, thank you, Miss Rhea, for jumping up here and sharing. You know what? You talk about robots. I was sharing with David a couple of months ago a robot at a resort, like, if you go to on vacation, an all-inclusive resort, and this robot was making an omelet to the way that you wanted, however you wanted. If you wanted cheese and vegetables only, or if you wanted to add ham and cheese only, whatever it was, whatever your preferences were, it was making omelets. So you talk about the robot making pizza, is absolutely, there is somebody out there is utilizing it, and it will get to the point where through mass, adoption, it will be that pizza robot will be in every Domino's here pretty soon, will be in every Pizza Hut that pretty soon, and then every mom and pop shop will have one too. David and I went to Vegas a few years ago and walked up to a bar, and that bar was a robot arm that was serving alcohol. You literally walked up to an iPad, punched in your order that you wanted, and that robot made your drink and then dropped that drink off to you, that robot arm. You talk about how grocery stores will be all, kind of self-checkout robot, robotic style. You're 110% spot on. We are get to the point where when we enter, they already have this around the world, by the way. So it's just a matter of time before it's mass adopted. But you'll get to the point where you enter, Japan has this. You'll enter into a grocery store, and as you enter into a grocery store, the entrance is controlled. And so you'll have to, scan some sort of, like, you'll have a digital ID is essentially what's going to happen. And when you scan that digital ID, it allows you to come in, you grab your grocery cart or your basket, whatever you're going to utilize. And as you put things into your cart or your basket, it will automatically scan what you have. So you'll have a running total going on your basket when you've got, add each item. It's scanning and ringing up that item as if you were at the register. And then when you're ready, you just hit push, check out. And once you check out, then that controlled access at the front door will allow you to leave because you've paid for the goods in your cart or your basket. Or if you're in a handheld, if you just need to walk in and grab one item, you'll walk up and, scan, that item will be scanned, and, it'll say, do you want to charge, which form of payment do you want to, charge? Do you want it to come out of your bank draft? Do you want this to come out of your cryptocurrency? You have a large amount of, Bitcoin. It's going to be all intercombined to where it is going to allow that convenience factor. And that's what this comes down to, is it is sold to us as a convenience factor. Now, just everybody knows that, technology it is a great thing as long as you are on the front end of that and you're not on the back end as the person that it's going to be used on. And so it is smart to stick around the campfires when we have conversations like this, so that way you can utilize this information to find out how your business, you as a professional or a personal, investment portfolio, have these resources to showcase and share with others, so that you're on the front end of this instead of the back end where you have to adopt it instead of you want to adopt it. David and I have shared this for a long time. It's a matter of time before, they come in to a place of business and you're all sent home and you're working from a virtual environment now because you're forced to, because the company decided that they're going to, cut overhead. And so they're going to get rid of their office spaces and all that. And guys, I come from a background in the office interior world. So I was that person that was outfitting offices with, whether it's the complete overhaul of their space, from the construction side to the, decoration, the interior design side to the commercial contract interior furniture that you're putting in there. What are you, utilizing? I did all that for, 20 plus years of my corporate career. And a reason I share that is because when I left 2 years ago, I was telling my counterparts and I was telling, my acquaintances, guys, this industry is not going to be around in 10 years. 10 years from now, you are not going to be helping your clients outfit their office interiors. This is not, and then all of a sudden the pandemic happened. And then people are starting to look at me and I'm saying, I'm telling you, it's coming down the pipeline. And people just did not, they don't want to accept it because it's different. And I'm not asking for, and I don't want to, put industries out of business, but technology does that. And as we know, technology is always evolving. The moment that the newest thing comes out, it's already old, because the moment the newest cell phone comes out, it's already old because technology is already advancing. Mr. Jones?
Yeah, and Amanda is in our Hello Plaza, so welcome in, Amanda. I see that you asked, a question, how do you create spaces for all businesses? I'd encourage you to also go check out our Hello Plaza, and here I'm going to jump down and show you where you can go and visit that.
The Hello Plaza Mall.
Yeah, the Hello Plaza Mall, where if you come right to this ball right here, and you click where it says Hello Plaza Mall.
Walk over to the Tara avatar.
Yeah, just walk over here to where Tara is right now, and you'll see this little ball that says Hello Plaza. And that right there is our Hello Plaza, where we have Miss Alice, Dr. Alice. She's going to be joining us in our Hello Plaza Mall. We already have several other business owners that have put their business into the metaverse. So instead of telling people, hey, come to my crusty, dusty website and check out all my services, you now can say, hey, go into metaverse and check out all of my services that you can learn more about. Not only do you get access into our mall where we build it out and customize it, now you also get a back-end studio room that you then get to be able to say, hey, instead of meet me on Zoom, meet me in my back office room, that you can have your Zoom call and have an interactive conversation to where literally it showcases everything. You don't have to worry about a green screen. You don't have to worry about getting dressed. You can already, you heard Chris and Miss Alyssa share earlier, of how easy it was to get in. And personally, I think it's easier than Zoom. I ain't got to worry about a link. I don't got to worry about this. If people want to join me on the phone, if they want to join me on their laptop, they can. Or sometimes on Zoom, you can only join on your laptop, because then you got to prop your camera or have a camera holder for your phone, and it just becomes real crazy. And so definitely, this is where we encourage you guys to really learn how we can build and collaborate together. The one thing that we do get is that people will see, this environment, and they'll go and want to create their own. And you're missing the point of metaverse. Metaverse is where we get to build and collaborate together. Where when somebody wants to come into Dr. Alice's storefront, they're not only going to get access to hers, but they're also going to get access to Kathy's, to Roberta Pacino, Al Pacino's sister. So when Roberta Pacino sends people to her gallery, they're not only going to see the gallery or the storefront, they're going to see everybody else's. And so this is really where we share with people, collaboration is the new currency. Collaboration is the new competition, where if we get out of the old traditional ways of, let me see how I can do this by myself and I can showcase myself. That's cute and adorable. That's what used to work. But what works now is just like what we're doing now. We're in this 3D immersive world where we're able to showcase and show everybody that is at play. And then those of you that are watching us right now, you can see that I'm moving around in our actual Hello Plaza storefront where I was sharing. Miss Roberta can tell people, hey, come and check out my storefront in here, where people come and check out that. They also are going to be able to go over to Mac Leadership Solutions, Miss Merlin Clark, where she can showcase her amazing program that she has, where she's showcasing, not only her book, but she also is able to showcase her actual, membership platform and her disc analysis program as well. And so they get to see that in a completely different way. We talked about Chef Andy showcasing his sauces. We had Miss Cleo that was in the room with us yesterday to showcase the Set Yourself Free, where she's a coach. And then, of course, definitely not last but not least, Miss Astonishing Pearls, where she's going to be able to showcase her amazing coaching and wellness and apparel, and actual, people can book appointments in here. And so this takes it to a whole new different dimension of being able to showcase this. And this is why we had this conversation with you all, to help you understand that this fintech, this crypto of business, of crypto and commerce, how business can thrive in the new era. This is where we combine these two worlds together that are already there. Now, if somebody wants to pay you in ETH or Bitcoin or whatever they want to pay you, we have the systems to be able to pivot them from the traditional way to the new way and be able to incorporate that. And the great thing is, you don't have to know how to do it. And a lot of the times people don't do things because they don't know how to do it. And then it's too late when you're like, okay, now I need to do it. There's already something else that's out that you're going to have to invest on. And now it's so much more money than it originally was. And so this is where we encourage you guys to really come and tap 4 buttons where you can join us in Metaverse. You can see this, as some of you guys have done today, which I greatly appreciate that so much, of you just saying, you know what? I'm already on the phone. I'm already here. Let me just, hit this button up at the top and download this app, and bada boom, bada bang, right? And so with that being said, does anybody else have any questions? Dr. Alice, Miss Rhea, you ladies want to tap in on this? Go ahead.
Hi, just wanted to make a couple more points before I nip off to bed, if you don't mind. Well, that was so fascinating listening to what Tara was saying earlier on, and also Raya. I just wanted to make 3 points, actually. One was, you're absolutely right. It was a game changer for me when all of my platforms were combined through that one access point. It was phenomenal. Now, all I have to do is to give someone that code. You know me and the languages, technology doesn't always actually go so well. But it means that with that one site, or entrance, they can have access to all of my sites. And that was a game changer for me, rather than having to give my LinkedIn address or profile, my IG, my YouTube. So that is really a great advantage of what you guys do. The other point I wanted to mention is the collaboration. We are definitely in the age of collaboration. We've moved out of the age of competition, and anyone who doesn't collaborate will die like the dinosaurs as well. Everybody is collaborating now who is making, because guess what? There is so much here. There is more than enough that even if we collaborated, we would still all do very well. So I really want to reinforce how important that is going forward. The more you help and share is the more you get, because there's so much there. The other point I want to make is that this is a great opportunity for wealth creation. I am so pleased that Tara and David host this this presentation on a regular basis, because they're a fountain of knowledge. They're right at the cutting edge of knowledge. I mean, I've learned a lot from them, and I've gone back and reinforced it. But in terms of the crypto space, but just where they are as well with the metaverse, I'd highly encourage people to follow them. They know what they're doing, and they're certainly heading in the right direction. I wanted to just add that in the medical field, medicine is one of the fields that is going to be transformed most by the new technology. There is no going back. And I'm fascinated by the potential already. Talk about some of the making your pizza. In another 5 years, you will have your cancer being diagnosed and treated according to your specificity, your own body type. It won't no longer be a cancer drug treatment that just treats a cancer, it be treating your cancer. It is phenomenal what is happening in medicine. And quite a few people already pivoting here. So I'm very, very excited. You must get involved so at least you can be part of the conversation. You don't have to know everything, but whatever field you're in, get involved. Get to know what is going on, because you can be part of that change. I think Tara said that. That is the way to manage it. Get involved, get some basic knowledge, and be part of the change. I am definitely part of the medical change. I feel a part of it, and I'm very, very excited by the potential. So thank you very much.
Absolutely, Dr. Alice. And adding to that point that technology is in its future is going to revolutionize medicine and the medical community and what our medical care is. A couple months ago, they just successfully had a doctor in the UK area, I believe, doing surgery on a banana. Yes, a banana fruit in LA. And they did it on a fruit, obviously, because they're testing. So the surgeon
through Metaverse.
Yes, through Metaverse. So the surgeon was across the pond, and the patient, aka the banana, so that way if anything happened, we didn't lose anybody. The banana, could just get eaten or fed or thrown out to the birds and into the compost. But that point is that we're there, and we are to support what Dr. Alice was sharing. Is we're there on all fronts, and the next 5-10 years are going to be exciting times to live and watch as this unfolds. And the point of our conversations is to help you guys understand the lay of the land, so you can best put your best foot forward, so you can be a part of the cutting edge and be in those circles of communication in your specific industry, showcasing how technology is going to revolutionize your space. And so thank you, Dr. Alice, for joining us today and for jumping up here and adding that. Mr. Jones?
Yeah, and one of the things that I've been sharing with you guys from the jump, these movies have been telling us exactly where we're going.
What movie was it the other day that you just said?
Over the weekend, that's exactly where I was going. I went through my kick of my Marvel Avengers, and so I went through and I watched Iron Man again. And what do you guys think Jarvis is? What do you think the actual Iron Man itself? That's a robot. There's already if you guys have watched Finn, what was that? Finch. We watched Finch last night. It's a boring movie. Don't watch it. But it shares with you how far in advance this technology is. And this is where AI comes into place. AI is not just ChatGPT. We've been able to create these robots and things of that sort. Now we have the brain to go with it, to do its learning language model, to where it can learn and adapt as it does things. And that's why you're seeing this robotics industry take over, as we've been sharing with you guys. There's going to be a displacement of jobs here in the next couple of years where, yes, AI is going to displace 950. What is it?
It's going to displace 750, yes, but it's going to create 950
million more jobs. 150 surplus more jobs are going to be created with this AI, which is why we share with you all that if you do have a business, or if you don't have a business, it's time to start building one, because your job is not a nonprofit. They did not start business to just have a nonprofit. They started a business to have profit. And if they can have something that's faster, easier, simpler, more reliable, no HR issues, no vacations, none of that, they're going to do it just like you would. And so this is where we're sharing with you guys, get ahead of the curve, just like Miss Rhea. Miss Rhea literally could be on the lookout in the next year or so where there's going to be robots that do this cleaning, where instead of her hiring actual employees, she could be able to hire.
Sorta already is.
Yeah, she could literally already hire, these robots and have these robots quadruple her output. How much more safer would people feel that instead of somebody coming in their house, that a robot comes in the house? The robot ain't gonna steal. The robot ain't gonna do nothing stupid. It's gonna do what it's meant to do, what it's programmed to do. Hence iRobot, hence Transformers, hence all these movies, Atlas that Tara was talking about. If you haven't seen that with Jennifer Lopez, these movies have been telling us where we're going. And so buckle up, buttercups, because it's time to make that transition and that pivot. And that's what today's conversation was all about. And so with that being said, we want to thank you guys all for joining us. We don't have a Hello Pivot call tomorrow. So be on the lookout for next week as we move forward. Miss Marilyn herself just jumped in the building. All of our Pivot members are jumping in here today. Miss Rhea, Miss Dr. Alice is our gold member. If you guys are watching us on our metaverse live right now, you guys can see that in our metaverse, we have a whole entire back wall of our VIP and above members that have joined our Pivot membership. Dr. Alice is the first, Roberta Pacino, Miss Marilyn Holloway is one as well, Miss Astonishing Pearls, and, Shandi as well. So you guys definitely get some great perks when we do these rooms. People also being able to showcase and see what you guys are up to. And in our Hello Plaza, that goes straight to you guys' biz in a box that people can be able to see as well. And so I want to thank you guys all for joining us today. And until next time, you guys know the drill. Love,
kindness,
and integrity.
But most importantly,
commitment
and
consistency.
And until next time,
toodles, everybody.
Hasta la pasta.
Bye.
Have an amazing day, you guys.
Shalom, shalom.